How's it going, everyone? I know that a lot of you want to see more 9.5 content on the channel, and today I have another 9.5 video. If you have more 9.5 video suggestions, go ahead and leave them down below so that way I know what you guys want to see. But this is our 2004 Saab 9.5 Aero, and I'm going to be doing pretty much a classic video of sorts on this car. The second or third video I ever uploaded was titled 6 Quirky Things About My Saab 9.3, and some of my buddies have kind of turned that video into a meme of sorts. I did another version of that a couple years ago when we had our two OG 9.3 convertibles, and today I figured, why not do it on the 9.5 since I hadn't done the 9.5 yet. So that's what we're doing today. I'll be showing you guys 6 quirky features on the Saab 9.5. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. For this first quirk, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the car, and this is something that's a very common feature on, well, pretty much any modern Saab: night panel. Night panel is something that was taken out of the older Saab jets that well, I guess they're probably still in the new Saab jets too. But it was a feature that was taken out of the Saab jets, and pretty much what it does is you hit the night panel button right here, and it'll shut off all of the lights here on the control stack, and it'll shut off all of the lights here in the dash with the exception of the speedometer up to 90 miles an hour. So go ahead and press it again. Everything turns back on. Now everything turns off. Now, of course, if I have the car started, all of these warning lights will go away. It's weird that it still has this gear selector on. I'm guessing that's because I'm in park. Yeah, if I put it in the drive, the gear selector goes away. It's kind of weird. I never noticed that before. That comes back on. But a couple things, like for instance, I just turned the AC off so there'd be no wind noise. If I do that, or if I turn the radio on or try to, you know, adjust the preset, the radio screen will pop back on for a few seconds. So if I try and do anything like that, you know, the screen will pop back on for a few seconds and then go dark again. Now, another cool feature, as you know, that just went dark. Another cool feature about night panel is if you're going above, I think it's around 85 miles an hour, the rest of the speedometer will light up. Another thing, if you're low on fuel, I think it's when you get below a quarter tank, your fuel gauge will also turn on, so you don't really have to worry about, you know, running out of gas with the night panel. The car is going to let you know if you get close, and it'll turn that specific gauge on as well. So that's night panel. It's really helpful at night because it helps reduce stress on the eyes. I use it a lot in my 9.3s. Let me know down below in the comments if you use night panel on your Saab. I'm curious to know if it's something that a lot of people use or not. Now, the second thing here, you saw when I put the key in that it's down here. The key is not back behind the steering wheel here like it is on just about any other car. So Saabs put the key down here for a couple of different reasons. The major reason being safety. Swedes, Volvo and Saab in particular, have always been very paranoid about their safety and have always put that as a high priority on their cars. I mean, there are some crazy tests out there of things that these cars went through. They had a moose test, for example. I saw videos of these getting hit with trains. I mean, they just did ridiculous things to make sure these were the safest cars on the road, pretty much. So that's one of the reasons, or pretty much the predominant reason, why this is down here. Because if you get in an accident, think about the keys right here, your knee is right there, that key can go straight into your knee and cause some pretty serious damage. I've also heard that because the key is down here, it makes it harder to steal these cars. You don't really hear Saabs being stolen very often. Now, I don't know if that's because they're complete piles of shit and no one wants them, or because they're hard to steal, but regardless, they don't get stolen. So there's some food for thought for you right there. For the third quirk, we're once again gonna stay on the interior, and I'm sure you guys all know what this is: the cup holder. Saab is famous for their really cool and at the same time, quite frankly, not very useful cup holders. The new generation 9.3 has a really quirky cup holder that flips out and then spins the other way. Over here, the OG 9.3 has it like worked up into here and it pops out this way. And this one, I mean, that's just satisfying. Like, look at that. Like, that's some serious engineering that went into that right there. But you know, it's not, it's a little bit flimsy. These do tend to break off. It's also kind of small. You can't really fit something in there. So I don't really ever use my cup holder. My dad, actually, this is his car, he actually has like an aftermarket, like heavy duty cup holder that he keeps over here. But nonetheless, still extremely cool. And I mean, just look at that. Like, that is just so satisfying to watch. For our fourth quirk, we'll go ahead and finally hop out of the car. If you missed my last video, I actually did an entire video on this, but that is the DIC. And this is a quirk mainly because, oh, I might have parked too close to the bikes. It's okay, we'll be fine right here. The DIC is this part right here, the direct ignition cassette. It's pretty much the coil packs or the ignition coils for the car. Now this is a quirk, in my opinion at least. The old generation 9.3s also have this, and the new generation 900s. I think the 9000s as well. The new generation 9.3s didn't, neither did the NG95. But point being, this is all one piece. So of course this is a 4-cylinder engine, you have 4 ignition coils, but in the 9.5 that all comes in one big piece. So kind of an interesting design. If anyone knows why Saab did this as opposed to the design that most cars used and that they eventually switched to later with individual ignition coils, please let me know down below in the comments, but kind of weird that they're all 4 bunched into one. So these last 2 quirks are both related to the transmission, one being for the automatic 9.5s and one being for the manual. So this first one here, number 5, this is for the automatic 9.5s like this one. It's kind of weird. You know, of course a lot of cars will have a sport mode. Cars this old, not many had sport mode, so it's kind of cool that an 04 like this had a sport mode in it. But the cool thing is not the sport mode. I mean, that doesn't really do much besides just make the gas pedal super sensitive. The cool thing is winter mode, and what winter mode does is it starts the car in a lower gear. So instead of starting out in first gear, it'll start the car in, I think it's 3rd gear. I'm sure someone knows better than me, but I believe it starts the car in 3rd gear. I've only used it a couple of times because, of course, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. But during the winter, especially up in Sweden, this is supposed to really help you with traction because, you know, you start the car in 1st gear, you might just spin the tires even with your traction control on and your winter tires. So this is just supposed to help you at lower speeds get better traction. So you can go ahead, actually start the car and put it in winter mode. So you can go ahead, press the W, and you get a nice little message on the dash there that shows winter mode. So last but not least, I can't show this on this specific car because it's an automatic, but on the manual 9.5s, the manual NG900s and OG93s, you have to have the car in reverse in order to take the key out. This was a little bit of a weird thing that I never really knew until, of course, I started driving an NG900 in high school. But you have to put the car in reverse in order to get the key out. So I guess one thing is that always ensures that you park the car in gear. But with that being said, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know what other content you wanna see on this car down below in the comments, because I'll try to film as much of it as I can. I should be getting my blue 9.3 back on Saturday, so I'll finally have a paint video and be able to do content on that again, but it's been at paint for the last 3 weeks now. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'll see you all next time.